those days when you wake up thinking it's going to be just another ordinary day? Well, that's exactly how I felt on that Thursday morning in March. My name is Emma Rodriguez, but everyone calls me Em. I'm 23 years old. I teach English at a public high school here in Miami, and until that day, I thought I had my whole life figured out. I woke up early, as always, with the Florida sun already blazing outside. Let me tell you something. This Miami heat is no joke, even at 7 in the morning. I made my coffee with a bagel, because that's my go-to breakfast, and got ready for work. Tyler, my boyfriend, had sent me a good morning text, something simple, you know? Good morning, babe. XOXO. Nothing special. We'd been together for 3 years, and I was already at that relationship stage that's like an old slipper, comfortable but kind of boring. My mom, Patricia, always said that marriage was like that anyway, that passion was just soap opera stuff. But back to that fateful day, I got to school and taught my classes normally. Until, during lunch break, while I was eating my turkey sandwich in the teacher's lounge, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Alex. Alex was Tyler's best friend since they were kids. A tall person with short, wavy auburn hair, always with that broad smile that lit up any room. They had these green eyes that seemed to see right through your soul, you know? And a contagious laugh that made everyone laugh along. The message said, Em, we need to talk. It's about Tyler. Can you meet me today after work? My heart jumped. That kind of message never means anything good, right? I replied yes, and spent the rest of the day with a knot in my chest, unable to concentrate properly. My 7th grade students must have thought I was crazy because I explained the same grammar rule 3 times. When the bell rang, I rushed out of school. Alex had arranged to meet at a cafe near South Beach. When I arrived, they were already there, stirring an iced coffee and looking not good at all. Hey, Alex, I greeted, sitting across from them. What's up? You look like you've seen a ghost. They took a deep breath. Em, I really didn't want to have to tell you this, but Tyler's cheating on you. There it was. The words I'd always been afraid to hear, but that deep down, I kind of already suspected. You know when you feel something strange, but you keep trying to convince yourself it's paranoia? What do you mean? I asked, even though I already knew the answer. I saw him last night with Sophie, that girl from accounting at his work. They were at a restaurant in Coral Gables, holding hands, kissing. Alex looked genuinely upset. Em, I swear I thought 1,000 times about whether I should tell you or not, but you're my friend too. I couldn't let you keep being deceived. I felt my world collapse. 3 years. 3 years of relationship, plans, talks about moving in together, about having kids someday, all down the drain because of some Sophie from accounting. How long? I managed to ask. I don't know for sure, but from the stories she posts, I think about 2 months. 2 months. The jerk had been cheating on me for 2 months, and I, like a fool, thought everything was fine. I started crying right there, in the middle of the cafe. Alex stood up, came to my side, and hugged me. Easy, Em. You deserve way better than that jerk. 3 years, Alex. 3 years of my life. I know. They stroked my hair while I soaked their shirt with tears and mascara. After I calmed down a bit, I wiped my face with the napkin, which turned all black with makeup, poor thing, and took a deep breath. I need to break up with him. Want me to go with you? No. This I need to do alone. But I didn't do it alone. Actually, I didn't do it that day, because when I got home, still emotionally destroyed, I found my mom, my Aunt Rosa, and my Grandma Isabel sitting in the living room, having coffee and eating tres leches cake. Oh, honey, what's with that face? Asked Patricia, looking me up and down. And then I broke down again. I told everything. Tyler, Sophie, the cheating, the 2 months of lies. My Grandma Isabel, who's 78 years old and has a sharp tongue that could cut steel, was the first to speak. Didn't I say, Patricia? Didn't I say that boy had a cheater's face? Eyes too close together, thin lips. Men with thin lips are no good. Mom, for God's sake, what nonsense is that? My mother countered. Nonsense, nothing. My father, God rest his soul, used to say, beware of men with thin lips and women with overly thin eyebrows. And look, he lived to 92. He knew things. Aunt Rosa, always the most dramatic in the family, already had tears in her eyes. My niece, what a disaster, and you so young, so pretty. To hell with him, you hear? Men are like buses, one comes by every 5 minutes. Rosa, she's sad, don't help, my mother scolded. But it's true, Aunt Rosa defended herself. Em, you're beautiful, intelligent, a teacher. Any man would be lucky to have you. I don't want another man right now, Auntie. I want to die of sadness in peace, I replied, throwing myself on the couch. Die nothing, girl. Grandma Isabel slapped her hand on the table. You're going to take a shower, get ready, and we're going out to eat seafood. No man is worth staying home suffering over. And that's how, against my will, I ended up being dragged to a restaurant in South Beach, still with swollen eyes, eating fried fish with the family, while Grandma Isabel told, for the 1000th time, the story of when she discovered her first boyfriend was having an affair with her cousin. And you know what I did? She asked, at the climax of the story. I took all the gifts he'd given me, put them in a box, and had it delivered to his house, with a letter that said, "You can give them to cousin, since you two like sharing things so much." Even destroyed, I laughed. My grandma always had these absurd stories that somehow made you feel better. When we got back home, it was almost midnight. Tyler had sent about 5 messages asking where I was, if everything was okay. I didn't even respond. I just lay in bed and tried to sleep, but couldn't. The next day, Friday, I woke up to a message from him. Em, is everything okay? I'm worried. Can we see each other tonight? I replied. We need to talk. He must have sensed the tone because he responded quickly. Is something happening? Tonight we'll talk. 8 p.m. at my place. I spent the whole day nervous. I rehearsed 1,000 times what I was going to say, how I was going to break up, whether I was going to yell, cry, throw something at him. In the end, I did none of that. When Tyler arrived at 8 o'clock sharp, at least he was punctual, I was sitting in the living room with a serious face. My whole family had gone out strategically, but I knew my mom was in her room listening to everything. Hey, babe, he said, trying to kiss me. I dodged. Sit down. He sat, with that face of someone who already knows the house is about to fall. Em, what's happening? Sophie, I said just that. His face went pale. Way too pale for a guy who spent all day in the Miami sun. I can explain. Explain what, Tyler? That you've been cheating on me for 2 months? That you made a fool of me all this time while you were with some woman from your work? It was a mistake. Mistake? I stood up, already feeling the anger rise. Stepping in a puddle is a mistake. Forgetting your house keys is a mistake. Cheating on someone for 2 months isn't a mistake. It's a choice. He tried to approach, but I stepped back. I'm sorry, I was confused. We were kind of distant. We were distant because you were with someone else. Don't try to blame me. No, that's not it. Em, I love you. It was just a silly thing. A silly thing for 2 months? I rolled my eyes. Tyler, it's over. We broke up. Get your stuff you left here and leave. He tried to argue, beg, say he'd change, that he'd ended things with Sophie. Lie, I was sure. But I didn't even want to listen. I grabbed the box where I'd put all his things, a toothbrush, 2 shirts, flip-flops, deodorant, and threw it into his arms. Bye, Tyler. Take care, and stay with Sophie, since she's so special. He left my house with his head down, and when the door closed, I collapsed on the floor, crying. My mom came running out of her room and hugged me. Cry, honey. Cry it all out now. Tomorrow you'll get up with your head held high. And I cried. I cried a lot. I cried for the relationship that ended, for the 3 years that seemed to have been thrown away, for the humiliation of being cheated on. But what I didn't know was that this was just the beginning of the craziest story of my life. If you're going through a breakup right now, drop a comment and let me know you're not alone. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We post new stories every week. Saturday dawned with that scorching sun typical of Miami. I woke up with swollen eyes from crying so much. They looked like 2 ripe peaches, and with an emotional hangover that not even coffee with condensed milk, my remedy for everything, could cure. I grabbed my phone and had about 15 messages. 3 from my mom asking if I was okay. even though she was literally in the next room. 5 from the family group chat, the Fab Ladies. Name chosen by Grandma Isabel, obviously, with everyone sending supportive messages and crying cat stickers. 4 from friends from school who'd already heard about the breakup, and 3 from Alex. Alex's messages were different. M, heard you broke up with Tyler. He called me crying like a baby. I mean, crying like an idiot who lost the best girlfriend he ever had. Tonight there's that party at Mariana's place, remember? Forget that jerk and let's have fun. Mariana was Alex's friend and threw legendary parties. Normally I went with Tyler, but, well, now there was no more Tyler. I replied, Alex, I don't have the face or the mood for a party. The answer came immediately. That's exactly why you need to go. I'll pick you up at 9 p.m. I'm not taking no for an answer. I sighed. I knew Alex well enough to know it was better not to argue. When they got something in their head, there was no force in the world that would make them change their mind. I spent the whole day on autopilot. I tried to watch Netflix but couldn't concentrate. I tried to read a book, but reread the same paragraph 5 times. Until my mom, with that wisdom of a Latina mother, said, M, stop suffering over a man. Go to this party, have a beer, laugh. A man who cheats doesn't deserve a single tear from you. Mom, I loved him. Loved. Past tense. Now you're going to love yourself, which is more important. Around 8 at night, I started getting ready. I put on a red dress that Tyler hated. He said it was too flashy. Now I understood he didn't want me to attract attention, but Sophie could, right? Did my makeup carefully and let my wavy hair down. When Grandma Isabel saw me, she clapped. Oh, glory. Now that's what I'm talking about. You look like those girls in magazines. What magazine, Grandma? Any of them. You look beautiful. Go there and get yourself a better boyfriend. Grandma, I broke up yesterday. So what? Ever heard the saying, one love cures another? Grandma, that's not a saying. It's from a country song. Aunt Rosa, who had stopped by just to see my preparation for returning to single life, her words, also gave her 2 cents. Em, just don't go kissing just anyone, okay? Men are difficult, but you also shouldn't grab the first one that appears. Auntie, I'm just going to a party. I'm not getting married again. I know, but consider yourself warned. At 9 o'clock sharp, Alex honked outside. I ran out before my whole family decided to give me more relationship advice. When I got in their car, an old red Honda Civic they loved more than anything, I came face to face with Alex all dressed up. They were wearing black jeans, a gold tank top, and their wavy auburn hair all styled. They looked stunning. Wow, they exclaimed when they saw me. Em, you look amazing. Tyler's going to regret it when he sees the photos. He won't see any photos because I already blocked him from everything. Even better. They laughed and turned on the music. A Taylor Swift song started playing. Today is the day to forget exes and have fun. On the way to Mariana's house, who lived in Wynwood, we sang breakup songs at full volume. Alex had a contagious energy. It was impossible to be sad around them. Hey, Em, they said when we stopped at a light. I know it's hard, but I promise it'll pass, and you'll find someone who truly deserves you. Thanks, Alex. Really. For everything. For telling me about Tyler. For bringing me tonight. Oh, come on. That's what friends are for. We arrived at Mariana's and you could already hear the music from outside. It was a big house with a huge backyard where the party was happening. There were colorful lights hanging from the trees, a table full of drinks and snacks, and lots of beautiful people. The hot girls have arrived, shouted Mariana when she saw us. She was a tall brunette with straight hair down to her waist, always smiling. Em, I heard about Tyler. What a jerk. But forget him. Tonight you're going to kiss someone way better. Mariana, for God's sake. I started, but she'd already shoved a beer into my hand. The party was great, I admit. The music was good, the people were nice, and after the 3rd beer, I was already laughing and dancing as if I hadn't ended a 3-year relationship exactly 24 hours ago. Alex didn't leave my side. We danced, talked, took funny face pictures, and it was there, in that relaxed moment, that I noticed something strange. I couldn't stop looking at them, like for real. They were laughing at some joke people were telling, and I just stood there, looking at their laugh. at the way they threw their head back when they found something really funny, at the sparkle in their eyes. Stop it, I thought. It's just the beer and the neediness from breaking up with Tyler. But as the night went on, the more I noticed things. Their perfume, which was sweet but not cloying. The way they touched my arm when talking to me. The genuine concern in their eyes whenever they asked if I was okay. Around 2 a.m, people started leaving. Mariana, already a bit tipsy, suggested, "Hey guys, let's go to the beach and watch the sunrise." A group agreed. Alex and I went along. We got to South Beach, parked the car, and walked to the sand. We were about 10 people, but everyone spread out. In the end, it was just me and Alex, sitting on the sand, looking at the dark ocean. "Thanks for today," I said, breaking the silence. "Stop thanking me, Em. I wanted to be here. But seriously, you're amazing. You always have been. Tyler was really lucky to have a friend like you." Was? Because after the mess he made, he doesn't anymore. They laughed, but seemed kind of sad. "Did you guys fight because of this?" We argued. I told him some truths, that he was an idiot, that he'd lost the most incredible woman in the world, that Sophie was a homewrecker. He didn't like it much. I kept looking at them. The moonlight hit their face in a different way. "Alex? Yeah? Why did you tell me? I mean, you and Tyler have been friends forever. It must have been hard." They took a deep breath and looked at the ocean. "Because you deserve the truth, and because..." They paused, seemed to think if they should continue. "Because I care about you. A lot." My heart did a strange little jump. "I care about you too," I replied, not quite understanding why I was getting nervous. We stayed in silence for a few minutes, just listening to the sound of the waves. "Em, can I tell you something?" they suddenly asked. "Of course." I never really liked Sophie or any other girl Tyler dated before you." "Nobody likes homewreckers anyway," I tried to joke. "That's not it." They turned to me, and there was something different in their eyes. "It's that. I always thought he didn't deserve any of them, especially you. Alex, I know it sounds weird, but it's true. Since you and he started dating, I always thought she's way too incredible for him." I was speechless, and not quite understanding what was happening in my chest. "And do you know why I thought that?" they continued, and now they were really close to me. "Why?" I asked in a whisper. "Because anyone with eyes can see that you're special, Em. You're smart, funny, beautiful, and I've always been kind of jealous." "Jealous? Of Tyler?" "No." They gave a nervous little laugh. "Of you." Before I could process what that meant, Alex moved closer. Our faces were inches apart. I could feel their breath. "Alex, I started, but didn't even know what to say. Sorry if I'm reading this all wrong," they whispered, "but do you have any idea how hard it is to be around you and not be able to?" They didn't finish the sentence because, in an impulse I didn't even understand, I closed the distance between us and kissed them, and people. What a kiss. It was nothing like kissing Tyler or any other guy I'd kissed in my life. It was different, intense, like something had clicked into place. When we separated, I was breathless and completely confused. I don't know why I did that," I said, bringing my hand to my mouth. Alex was looking at me with those huge eyes, half scared, half hopeful. Do you regret it?" I thought for a second. Should I regret it? I'd just broken up with my boyfriend. I'd just kissed his best friend. And most shocking of all, they were not a guy. But when I looked at them again, at the way they were looking at me, I could only think one thing. No, I don't think I regret it. And I kissed them again. We stayed there on the beach, kissing like there was no tomorrow. And when we finally stopped, the sun was already starting to rise on the horizon. "Em," Alex started, still holding me. "We need to talk about this." "I know, but not now. Now I just want to stay here." They smiled and pulled me into a hug. We stayed there, watching the sunrise, while my head spun with 1,000 thoughts. I just kissed a person who's not a guy. I just kissed Alex. I liked it. A lot. What does this mean? Do I like women? Since when? How did I never notice? My mom's gonna freak out. Grandma Isabel's gonna have a fit. And Tyler? Oh my God, Tyler. But despite all these crazy thoughts, one thing was certain. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. Come on, Alex said, standing up and extending their hand to me. Let's get breakfast. I know a place that makes divine pancakes. I held their hand and stood up. And there, with my hand in theirs, walking along South Beach while the sun rose, I was certain of one thing: my life had just turned upside down, and I had no idea what was going to happen from here. But maybe, just maybe, I was ready to find out. Has something like this ever happened to you? A moment that completely changed how you saw yourself? Share your story in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. Monday arrived like a punch in the face of reality. I woke up with the memory of the kiss still burning on my lips, and a thought hammering in my head. Em, you kissed Alex. Alex, your ex's best friend. Who? Oh yes, is not a guy. I grabbed my phone nervously. There were 2 messages from them. Good morning. Did you sleep well? We still need to talk, right? But no pressure. Kiss. Literally, haha. Oh my God. They'd made a joke about us kissing. I laughed alone like an idiot. But before I could respond, my mom yelled from downstairs, Mama, come down for breakfast, girl. You're going to be late. I went downstairs, still in my pajamas, my hair looking like a bird's nest. At the table were my mom, Grandma Isabel, who'd slept over, and to my surprise, Aunt Rosa. Good morning, family, I greeted, grabbing a bagel. Good morning, nothing. Grandma Isabel already started. I want to hear about this party. Did you meet any nice boys? I choked on the bagel. Grandma. Because your cousin Marcos said he has a single friend, graduated in engineering, who's looking for a serious girl. Mom, for God's sake, my mother intervened. The girl just broke up Friday. Give her a break. Break nothing. The faster she finds another one, the faster she forgets that cheating Tyler. Aunt Rosa, who was spreading butter on her bread like it was the most important thing in the world, said, Isabel's right. Em is young, beautiful. She can't be suffering over a man. If you only knew I kissed someone who's not a guy on Saturday, you'd have a fit, I thought, but obviously didn't say anything. I managed to change the subject by talking about school, and soon I was getting ready for work. On the way, I replied to Alex, Good morning, slept well too. About talking. Can we meet tonight? The answer came almost immediately. I can. I'll pick you up at 7 p.m. We can go to that restaurant by the waterfront. My heart raced. Was it a date? Wasn't it? Was it just 2 friends talking about the kiss they shared? Or was it something more? I spent the whole day at school completely scattered. During 8th grade class, a student raised their hand and asked, Miss Rodriguez, are you okay? You've explained the same thing 3 times already. I'm fine, Junior. Just, got some things on my mind. It's because of the breakup, right? My cousin broke up with her boyfriend last week and she's the same way, all spacey. The whole class turned to look at me. Great. Now even my students knew about my love life. Guys, let's focus on the lesson, please. I tried to resume class, feeling my face heat up. When the bell finally rang, I rushed out. I got home, took a long and philosophical shower, trying to process everything, and started getting ready. I put on jeans, a light blue blouse, and comfortable shoes. Nothing too dressed up. After all, it was just a conversation between friends, right? But I ended up changing my blouse 3 times, and putting on makeup, and styling my hair more carefully than usual. Oh, Em, my mom appeared at the bedroom door. Going out? Yeah, Alex is picking me up. We're going to have dinner. Good that you're going out, distracting yourself. That person is a good influence. If you only knew, Mom, I thought. At 7 o'clock sharp, Alex honked outside. I went down and got in their car, and my heart did that little jump again when I saw them. They were wearing a beautiful floral dress, their hair loose, smiling. Hi, they said, kind of shy. Hi, I replied, equally shy. We spent a few seconds just looking at each other, until we both laughed at the same time. "This is weird, right?" they commented. "Very. We've literally known each other for 3 years, and it's never been weird." "Yeah, but now. Now we kissed," I completed. "Yeah, that." The drive to the restaurant was in that kind of tense, kind of excited mood. We tried to talk about normal things, work, family, the weather, but always came back to the subject of the kiss. When we got to the restaurant, we ordered grilled fish to share, because grilled fish is always a good idea, and spent a few minutes in silence, just playing with our drinks. Until Alex took a deep breath. "Em, I need to tell you something." My stomach turned. "Go ahead." I like women. I always have. Since I was a teenager. I never told Tyler because, well, you know how he is? Or was? Super narrow-minded. I kept looking at them, processing. "And you never told anyone?" "I told Mariana and some other friends, but not family, not Tyler." They paused. "And not you." "Why? I mean, why not me?" They looked me in the eyes. "Because you were dating my best friend, and because I liked you, Em, since we met. And telling you I wasn't straight would make everything even more complicated." My heart was racing. You liked me?" "Like," they corrected. "I like you. And I know this is totally crazy, that you just ended a relationship, that you're probably confused as hell." "I am," I admitted. "Alex, I'd never thought about women. Never. I always dated guys. Always thought I'd marry a guy. Have kids." "I know. And I understand if you want to forget what happened on Saturday. If it was just a moment, you know?" I thought about saying yes, that it had been just a moment. It would be easier, less complicated. But then I remembered the kiss, the feeling, how everything had seemed so right. "I don't want to forget," I said, surprised by my own courage. Their eyes lit up. "You don't?" "No. I was confused, yes. And I still am. But I can't stop thinking about the kiss, about you. And that's scary because I literally discovered I might like women 2 days ago, but, they asked, leaning forward. "But when I'm around you, it feels right. Even though everything is so new and confusing, it feels right." Alex smiled in that way of theirs that lit up everything around. "So, can we try? Go slow, no pressure, just see where it goes?" "I think so," I replied, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. "But I'm going to need time to process all this, to understand what I'm feeling. All the time in the world." They held my hand across the table. "No pressure, no rush. We'll go at your pace." We stayed there, holding hands, while the fish got cold. And for the first time since I broke up with Tyler, I felt happy. But of course, because my life is a comedy of errors, it was at this exact moment that a familiar voice shouted, "Emma?" I looked to the side and almost fell off my chair. It was Grandma Isabel, accompanied by Aunt Rosa and 3 friends from the church prayer group. Oh, my granddaughter. What a coincidence. She came toward our table, and I let go of Alex's hand, so fast I almost knocked over my juice glass. "Hi, Grandma." "Hi, Auntie." I tried to seem natural. What a surprise. "We came to have dinner here after the rosary. Introduce your friend." "This is Alex, Tyler's friend," I said, feeling my face burn. "Ah, the person who told you about the cheating," Grandma Isabel said really loud, and the whole next table turned to look. "What a good person. Come here, give me a hug." Alex stood up and hugged my grandma, trying not to laugh at the situation. "Are you two on a date?" Aunt Rosa asked, with that investigative look of hers. "No," Alex and I said together, too loud, too fast. "I mean, we're having dinner," Alex corrected. "As friends, just that." Grandma Isabel looked at us with that look of hers that saw everything. "Okay then, well, I won't interrupt your friend dinner. Enjoy." She winked at us. Winked? When they finally sat at a table on the other side of the restaurant, I buried my face in my hands. "I'm going to die. My grandma knows." Alex was laughing. "She doesn't know anything. We were just holding hands." Alex, my grandma has radar for this kind of thing. She found out my cousin was pregnant before my cousin herself found out. Okay, that's scary. I know. We tried to go back to eating normally, but it was impossible not to feel Grandma Isabel's gaze burning our necks. When we finally paid the bill and left, Grandma waved at us with that mischievous smile only she had. In the car, Alex asked, "And now? You think she'll say something? I don't know. But knowing my grandma, yes, definitely." Alex dropped me off at home around 10. Before I got out of the car, they held my hand. Today was different, but good. Really good. It really was, I agreed. "Can I kiss you again?" My heart raced, but I said, "You can." And they kissed me. There, inside the car, in front of my house. A sweet, delicious kiss that made my stomach do somersaults. When I went inside, my mom was in the living room watching her novella. "How was dinner, honey?" "It was good," I replied, trying not to show anything. Alex is a very polite person. They are. I went to my room, threw myself on the bed, and grabbed my phone. There was a message from them. Got home. Still smiling like a fool. "Good night, Em," I replied. "Good night, Alex. Today was special." And there, looking at my bedroom ceiling, I thought, I'm liking someone who's not a guy. Me, Emma Rodriguez, daughter of Patricia, granddaughter of Isabel, English teacher. I'm liking someone who's not a guy. It was scary. It was confusing. It was completely unexpected, but it was also wonderful. Drop a comment if you've ever discovered something new about yourself that completely surprised you. And if you're enjoying Emma's journey, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This story is just getting started. Wednesday dawned with that sun that seems like it's literally trying to melt you. Typical Miami in March. I woke up with a tightness in my chest, but this time it wasn't bad anxiety. It was anticipation. I was going to meet Alex tonight and finally have that conversation I'd been rehearsing in my head since yesterday. The "yes, I want to try this," even though everything is so new and scary conversation. But before I could get out of bed, my mom appeared at the bedroom door with a face I knew very well. The "we need to talk, and you're not going to like it" face. "Em, come down. There's someone here who wants to talk to you." My stomach churned. "Who?" "Tyler." "Tyler? Oh no, not today, not now." I went downstairs in my pajamas, didn't even comb my hair, and there he was, sitting in the living room, looking like a kicked puppy in the rain. "Em, we need to talk," he said as soon as he saw me. "We have nothing to talk about, Tyler. We already broke up." "But I don't accept it." He stood up. 3 years, Em. 3 years of relationship you're going to throw away because of one mistake? One mistake of 2 months. My mom, who was obviously listening to everything from the kitchen, appeared. "Tyler, I think you better leave." "Mrs. Rodriguez, please. I love your daughter. It was just a silly thing. I already broke up with Sophie." "Oh, you broke up?" I rolled my eyes. "How nice. Won a trophy?" "Em, for God's sake." He was almost crying now. "We fit together. We have history. You can't throw all this away." And that's when I said, without thinking, I already like someone else. The silence that fell in the room was deafening. Even my mom stopped pretending she wasn't listening and appeared completely. "What do you mean, someone else?" Tyler asked, pale. "Already? You already got over us?" "It's not quite like that." "Who is it?" He was getting red now. "Some teacher from school? Some guy who was consoling you?" I took a deep breath. It was now or never. "It's Alex." For a second I thought Tyler was going to faint. He stood there looking at me like I'd spoken in Mandarin. "Alex." "My Alex? My best friend Alex?" "They're not yours, Tyler. And yes, that Alex. But they're... You're not a guy." "Yes, I know." My mom sat on the couch, also processing the information. Grandma Isabel, who had arrived at that exact moment, because of course she had, entered the living room saying, "Didn't I say, Patricia? Didn't I say there was something going on?" "Mom, not now." Tyler was pacing back and forth, running his hand through his hair. "This doesn't make sense. You never showed." "Because I never allowed myself to feel, Tyler. But now I did. And it's real." "Real?" he almost shouted. "You've known them how long?" A week since we broke up and you're already with someone else? Technically, it's been 4 days, Grandma Isabel commented, because she loves to add fuel to the fire. Grandma, Tyler stared at me. With Alex, Em? Seriously? My best friend? You lost the right to complain about who I'm with when you cheated on me with Sophie from accounting. This is different. It's different nothing. You cheated on me. You broke my trust. And now you come here wanting to decide who I can or can't be with? But it's Alex. He was desperate now. They were always my friend. How could they do this to me? Do what? They don't owe you anything, especially not after you cheated on me. That's when my mom finally intervened. Tyler, I think you better leave. Now. But Mrs. Rodriguez. Now, Tyler. He looked at me one last time, with a mixture of anger, sadness, and disbelief, and left slamming the door. When the sound of his car disappeared, my mom turned to me. So? Alex? Mom, I can explain. Then explain. Sit here and tell me everything. And I told her. I told her about the kiss on the beach, about how it was different from everything I'd ever felt, about how Alex made me feel seen, understood. My mom was silent for a while. Then she said, Are you sure about this, Em? It's not just a phase? Confusion because of the breakup? Mom, I know it seems like it, but it's not. I feel like it's real. Grandma Isabel, who had been quiet until then, miracle, spoke. Patricia, let the girl be happy. What difference does it make if it's with a man or not? Mom, it's not that simple. And what will people say? And since when do we care what others say? Grandma countered. Did you raise your daughter to be happy or to please the neighbors? My mom sighed, looked at me and asked, Do they make you happy? Very much. Then okay, but if they hurt you, I'll go there and slap them myself. I hugged my mom, crying. It hadn't been the perfect reaction, but it also hadn't been horrible. It was a start, but the peace lasted little, because about 2 hours later, my phone exploded with messages. They were from the family group chat. Tyler had called Aunt Rosa, who, let's face it, can't keep a secret even if her life depended on it, and told everything. Aunt Lucy. Em is dating someone who's not a guy? Aunt Rosa. People, I'm shocked. But if she's happy? Aunt Marlene, the religious one in the family. This is the devil's work. We need to do a prayer chain. Cousin Marcus. Guys, leave Em alone. Everyone loves who they want. And so it went. The whole family divided between those who supported, those who were confused, and those who thought I was possessed. I turned off my phone and went to take a shower. I needed to get out of there. I sent a message to Alex. The house fell down. Tyler found out. My whole family knows. I need to see you. Now. The answer came in seconds. I'll pick you up in 10 minutes. Hang in there. And they arrived in 8. I got in the car and broke down. Alex, it turned into chaos. Tyler showed up at my house. I ended up telling him. He called my whole family. Now half are supporting me and half think I'm possessed. They hugged me. Easy, Em. Breathe. How am I going to breathe? My Aunt Marlene must already be praying to exorcise me. Alex couldn't hold it and laughed. Sorry, but the mental image is funny. I also laughed, through the tears. Everything's a mess. Alex, I know, but we'll figure it out. They took me to the beach, our place. We sat on the sand and just stayed there, looking at the ocean. Em, they said after a while, I need to tell you something. If it's to break up with me before we even officially start, I swear I... No, they laughed. It's the opposite. I want you to know that I understand if it's all too fast. If you want to take a step back, go slower. Alex, I spent the whole day being questioned about my feelings, by my mom, by my family, by Tyler. And you know what I realized? What? That the only person who doesn't question anything, who just accepts and supports is you, and that means everything to me. They smiled. So, we're in this together. We're in this together. And we kissed there, on the beach, in the middle of the afternoon, with people passing by and everything. And for the first time, I didn't care who was watching, because I was happy. For real. When we got back to the car, Alex asked, "And now? How do we deal with all this?" Honestly, I have no idea, but we'll figure it out together. They intertwined their fingers with mine. Together. That night, I did something I'd never done before. I posted a photo with Alex on Instagram, just holding hands on the beach, with the caption, "Sometimes happiness comes from where you least expect it." In 5 minutes, I had 50 comments. Half were supportive, half were confused, and some were people being jerks. But you know what mattered most? Grandma Isabel's comment, "My beautiful granddaughter with their partner. May God bless you both, partner." Grandma had called Alex my partner, and for the first time, I didn't correct it. Because maybe, just maybe, that was exactly what they were. If you've ever had to come out to your family, share your experience in the comments. And if this story is resonating with you, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. We're building an amazing community here. 2 weeks passed since the day the bomb exploded. 2 weeks of ups and downs, support and judgment, discoveries, and a lot of love. The family had divided into well-defined groups. On my side, Grandma Isabel, team captain, my mom, still processing, but supporting, Cousin Marcus, who'd sent a huge text about acceptance and love, and surprisingly, Aunt Rosa, who after the initial shock, decided that having a queer niece was modern and cool. On the other side, Aunt Marlene, who'd created a specific prayer group for my salvation, Uncle Hector, who simply stopped talking to me, and some distant cousins I barely knew anyway. But you know what? I was happy. Very happy. Alex and I were officially together. We saw each other almost every day, whether for dinner, to walk on the beach, or just to hang out talking until late. And every day, I discovered something new about them and about myself. Like the fact that I love when they run their hand through my hair, or that they have a ridiculous collection of mugs with funny phrases, or that they sing terribly in the shower but think they're Ariana Grande. Oh, and there was the episode of the official introduction to my family. It was a Saturday. Grandma Isabel had decided to have a family lunch because she loves to create dramatic situations, and insisted I bring my partner. "Grandma, are you sure?" I asked on the phone. "Half the family is still giving me weird looks, and the other half wants to meet them properly. Bring them, Em, and tell them to come hungry because I'm making paella." When I told Alex, they almost had a fit. "Meet your family? Em, I'm going to die. What if they hate me? What if they think I converted you or whatever?" "Alex, calm down. Grandma already loves you. My mom thinks you're polite, and the rest. Well, the rest will have to deal with it. But what if I say something dumb? Or spill something? Or you will spill something because you're clumsy. And you will say something funny without meaning to, because you always do. And my mom will think all of that is cute because you are cute." They smiled. "You always know what to say to calm me down." The lunch was perfect. My mom made lasagna, which is my favorite dish. Alex brought dessert, and yes, spilled wine on the tablecloth as I predicted, and the three of us talked until midnight. My mom asked about Alex's work, about their family, who lived in Fort Lauderdale, about plans for the future, and Alex answered everything with that sincerity of theirs that won anyone over. At the end of the night, when Alex left, my mom hugged me. "They're special, Em. Take good care of them." "I will, Mom. I promise." 2 more weeks passed, a full month since Alex and I had kissed for the first time, and in that month, a lot had changed. I'd come out. I'd faced my family. I'd lost some people along the way, like Tyler, who'd blocked everyone and disappeared off the map. I'd gained others, like Mariana, who became a great friend. But mainly, I'd found myself. Because for the first time in my life, I was being completely honest about who I was and what I felt, and there was no price for that. On Saturday, a month after our first kiss, Alex called me to go to the beach. Our place. When we arrived, they were nervous, fidgeting with their hands, avoiding looking me in the eyes. "Alex, is everything okay? You look like you're going to propose or something?" I joked. They laughed but stayed nervous. "It's not marriage. Yet. But Em, it's been a month since we've been together. I know, best month of my life. For me too. And I wanted to give you something. They took a small box out of their bag. When they opened it, there was a necklace with a pendant in the shape of a heart broken in half. It's kind of cheesy, I know, they said, taking the necklace out of the box. But I have the other half. So even when we're not together, we're connected. You know? I was crying again. Seriously, I need to stop this. It's perfect, Alex. They put the necklace on me and showed theirs, with the other half of the heart. Now we're one complete heart, they said, smiling. How cheesy. You love when I'm cheesy. I really do, I admitted, pulling them into a kiss. And there, on that south beach, with the sun setting in the background, I was certain of one thing. My boyfriend had cheated on me. I'd kissed his best friend, and that's how I discovered I liked women. But more than that, that's how I discovered what true love was. Guys, this story was totally crazy, right? If you've ever gone through some crazy discovery about yourself, or know someone who has a similar story, share it in the comments. I love reading these stories. And if you're watching from your city, comment where you're from. I want to know if there are people from all over watching. If you like this story and want more LGBTQ+ romances, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ones. Kisses. That it's okay to be yourself. Let's spread love and acceptance together. Don't forget to like this video and join our amazing community. You're not alone in your journey. Sonnet 4. 5 Claude é uma IA e pode cometer erros. Por favor, verifique